Hi, my name is attorney Nadia Khalid, and I'll be filling in for Ruby Powers this week for our weekly news roundup here at the Powers Law Group. Before we start and get into the week's news, we just want to send our thoughts and prayers to everyone who has been affected by Hurricane Florence and all the other tropical storms surrounding the United States. We know as Houstonians how hard it can be, especially since we're still going through the consequences of Hurricane Harvey from last year. So we just really wish you well, and we encourage you to find safety wherever that may be. As a reminder, our phone number here at our Houston office at the Powers Law Group is 713-589-2085, and our New Jersey phone number is 201-210-8240. If you have any questions or concerns, or if we bring something up that you think would warrant a consultation, feel free to call us here at our Texas number or at our New Jersey number. And as a reminder, for those of you who like to come and hear us speak, which we really appreciate, our attorney Ruby Powers has a few events left for this month. On September 19th, she'll be doing a presentation at the South Texas College of Law on waivers, and on September 20th, she'll be doing a conference with children at risk on immigration and education, its enforcement and impact. And on November 2nd, she'll be attending a conference with the Association of Immigration Lawyers of America, AILA, here in Houston. So those are Ruby's upcoming speeches. As always, we have 4 attorneys here that can speak on a range of topics, from immigration to asylum to family matters. And so if you ever know of something that's coming up, or if you ever want to include us in your communities, we'd love for you to do that, because we love to just share information as it happens. So as far as this week's news, there's 3 major things that we think you should be informed about. The first one is this new policy that came out from USCIS this past Tuesday. Essentially, the new policy allows USCIS, which, for those of you who may remember, stands for United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. The policy allows USCIS to issue a denial for a visa application without first issuing either a request for evidence or a notice of intent to deny. So the reason why this is different than before is because in the past, when an applicant had made an error on their application or they had provided insufficient evidence, historically USCIS would give you the opportunity to remedy your mistake. They would allow you X amount of days to respond, and you wouldn't have to file a new application or a new filing fee. However, with this new policy change as of Tuesday, the logic behind USCIS's new policy move is to deter those applications that were filed for frivolous reasons and to just give you status. So for instance, some applicants will just file the application itself and a filing fee, and they don't provide the requested evidence that usually accompanies that kind of application. So we're hoping that USCIS is really targeting the applications that are truly insufficiently supplied with evidence, but we are also wary that it might result in outright denials without further explanation, even after a seemingly thoroughly prepped application has gone through. So more than ever, it's important for you to review your application, prepare it with an attorney, or if you prepare it on your own, come and have an attorney review it to ensure that you meet the reasonable standard of providing sufficient evidence with that application. Because the long-term consequence of something like this can result in longer waiting periods, you having to refile applications, and then repeatedly having to file application fees. So at the end of the day, it would really benefit you to have an attorney review your application with you in light of this new policy. The second news story that we have for today is that the current administration is again trying, like we talked about last week, to continue to detain immigrant children with their parents. So currently, the law, as it stands, says that it is not allowed to detain alien minors with their parents at a detention facility for more than 20 days. This is under what is known as the Flores Agreement. However, the current administration is trying to make these detention periods longer, but the current administration is also facing backlash at potential lack of reunification. So we're waiting to see what will happen. Ultimately, the current administration believes that if they make the detention periods longer, it would act as a deterrence to people who come here unlawfully with their children, knowing that as the law stands, they can only be detained for 20 days. So we'll see what happens there. And finally, a lawsuit that is currently pending and whose decision will actually be released later today has been filed by parties such as the ACLU, and this lawsuit could be incredibly important for separated families. The lawsuit is requesting that the 1,000 or so immigrant parents and children who were separated at the border receive a second chance to apply for asylum. So this could mean a lot of things. It could mean that if you were part of this category of 1,000 or so parents and children who were separated, you could reapply for asylum even if your credible fear interview was rejected initially. You could return to the United States if you've already been deported and reapply for asylum. And overall, you would be eligible to apply for asylum even if you are currently detained, as long as you fit into this category of separated family and children at the border. So again, to be clear, there's no decision on this yet. We're waiting to see what happens, but the importance of this lawsuit is that it reemphasizes that people who came at the border, and you know how we saw the subsequent separation at the border crisis, it reemphasizes that those people were actually here to seek asylum for a credible reason, because there was actually something that compelled them to leave their home countries. And so we are interested to see how this turns out at the end. So that's it for this week's news. Again, our phone number here is 713-589-2085, and our New Jersey phone number is 201-210-8240. We hope you'll join us next week, and as always, stay involved with our newsletter. It comes out every Tuesday. This next Tuesday, there will be an article about the policy I mentioned to you, the USCIS policy about outright denials. It'll be written by me, but I hope you can join us next time and remain a part of our newsletter every week. Thank you.